exactly did Al have beef with enough in high school for them to pull up no questions asked and try to end his life in this episode? I need answers. And knowing Atlanta, we might not ever go back to this. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss Atlanta season 4 episode 6, Crank That Killer. Now, before we get into who exactly was that man in the orange car, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss this episode felt like the most Atlanta. I love that we had the first episode be named the most Atlanta, but this particular episode here felt like we returned to season 1. It felt good. It was a nice place to be.
Go back.
Now that you guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me, let's get into this episode. Now, we finally get an episode where all 3 of our guys are here together for an extended period of time. We get to see Al's home. It has been so great to not only see how Van was living with Lottie last episode, and here we get to see his house. Like, what are we doing with all of our money? It was nice to see. But we also get to see that Al is still very much so school, like you old school now, not only on stage as a rapper, but in your own home. How many of us have picked ESPN? Oh, it's just a regular ass remote. Like, I love that every single episode of Atlanta in some way has the ability to make me feel seen. What are you talking about? What, you 80? You still watching the news? And if you are looking for news, we got the Shade Room, Lipstick Alley, Black Twitter. We got, all of these other platforms that we use to get our news now. Like, I realize the older I get, especially now, there is, no more need to watch the news, no infomercial, no regular cable television. No, everything is through streaming. We are watching streaming platforms. And to get any ounce of news, we might go to a TMZ or watch, something online rather than watch the actual news. So I really thought that was funny. But we waste no time getting into that Crank That Killer, still dealing with, us being school, time passing. We are no longer, in a time of watching CNN. It's all about streaming, and the days of the Crank That are far, far gone. I also love that in that moment early on in their conversation, Al cannot even understand the concept of, going off the grid. Why would I want to disconnect? Why would I want to be, off in the wilderness somewhere, not bother with anything? I'm rich. That's not what I do. But once we get to the end, he can completely understand why you might want to go somewhere on a farm, a safe farm, and not even want to be bothered with anybody. Especially when we have a Crank That Killer on the loose in Atlanta. So anybody, whoever, Soulja Boy up in this, watch me crank and watch me roll, watch me crank that Soulja Boy, not Superman, that now watch me you. I was getting my whole, I'm looking for Mrs. Bubblegum, or Mr. Chico Stick, I wanna da-da-da. This episode was bringing back a whole lot of freaking memories. I absolutely love the fact that we got the real live Soulja Boy in this episode. It was awesome. Now, throughout the entire day, Al is putting up a front as if he couldn't be bothered. I'm not worried about that. Yes, I do have a Crank That video up, but it's nothing. But make sure you take that video down. He is absolutely bothered. And the way that he moves throughout this episode displays that he is scared. I love how he's sitting in the house alone and he hears some noises and it's just like, I hear some noises. It was like real live horror movie vibes this episode. It's like, yeah, but I'm black. I'm not going upstairs to check it out. I'm just going to leave the house and go somewhere where it's a whole lot of people. I'm going to go to the mall. Especially when we have the one and only Soulja Boy. He was the first rapper to be on Atlanta. He wasn't, but still. I love when we have Soulja Boy here saying, hey, I invented YouTube, practically did. I love how it's kind of made and played for jokes now. What he did as a rapper in the short span of time that he did it, he was very important and influential to, where things went as far as rap and the whole digital age. But, give Soulja Boy his goddamn credit. He was there. I love that he was here in this episode, like a good nigga, Safe Farm is there. Like, this episode definitely had me thinking back, trying to play context clues just to figure out who this killer might be, or who might be after Al at all. Somebody is always trying to kill, hurt Al every single season. When I think back to that, Robin season, like, oh my goodness, like, leave Al alone. I just really hope, especially from this episode, they are not foreshadowing anything. Like, don't play with him. Do not touch Al. Please don't. When we started to discuss the FBI, traces to get back to the Crank That Killer, the whole situation with the pool palace, Al used to be up in the pool palace. The whole situation with I think it was the Barbara Streisand episode where he's describing the dude, shaved head, leather jacket, the orange car types. I was like, what is it? Like, I was like trying so hard to figure out what was going on. And I was like, whoa, this is the Crank That Killer. Like, this was yet another episode, just like the Robin season episode, where I was really like low-key scared for Al's life because the gunshots were going off. Comical or not, in the mall, I thought like he was about to get got. There's always been this sense of somebody being after Al, somebody feeling like Al owes them something, someone chasing him. There's always a situation every single season. Even here now, a big theme in this episode is, about people taking opportunities, taking chances. We meet, some nigga named Doug, some guy named Doug who just wants a feature. But instead of saying no, you have him, jump through all these circles, destroying studio equipment, instead of just saying, you know what, I think you trash and I don't want to rap with you. So in the end, when we have, before we have Al say what he says about, the Crank That Killer or the person who was after him, I had beef with some dude in high school. Clearly, he's still mad. Really? That's what was going on? For a second, I just knew Doug had pulled that whole situation out of his pocket. Like, see, I was here to save you amongst all this gunfire, right place at the right time. So you trying to feature on my record? Like, it was just like he was so casual about it, as if like, didn't you not just, I almost just died and you want to talk about a feature? It's just like, yo, we got to do a song now. Like, it's just absolutely guaranteed now. So I felt like that was a setup, just so Al would be obligated to do a song with him. And in the end, he actually did do one. And that goes for, other opportunists in the mall also. We meet Roberto here. Roberto think that this is his time to shine. It's going to go down like he has a whole woman, whole baby in the backseat. Like, no, I just want to be a rapper. Like, everybody wants to be a rapper, and everybody normally is looking at Al as an opportunity. Like, he can't even walk in the mall. I love how we have him go in the mall, and the pretzel girl is like, yeah, I know that shoe. Like, all you celebrities coming in here doing the same thing, trying to be incognito with the hat without a label on it. You know how hard it is to do that? There go Chris Evans over there. The fact that Paperboy can't even walk through the mall without his location being dropped. Oh, Paperboy's in the mall. It's just a whole freaking situation. And we are all too familiar with, even though that situation was cleared as far as PNB Rock is concerned, but a lot of times we have a lot of things happen with rappers such as, Pop Smoke, just unfortunate situations where somebody somewhere knows your location. You may have even shown it on accident, and they come up and roll up on you and try to take you out. Much like old dude tried to come take Paperboy out this goddamn episode. Child, when Roberto rolled up amongst gunfire, thought this was his opportunity and rolled up and said, my life is a movie, jacuzzi. Why? Get your ass out of here. That was absolutely funny. But yet again, that might be some other person who is ready to hold a grudge because you didn't even hear me out when you were rolling up on me, and everybody in the mall like legitimately has a gun and they are firing at each other. Life is in jeopardy. Did you not hear the gunshots? But once again, this is my moment. Paperboy might be, my come up, my opportunity. I need to rap for him now, and I might not, get this chance later. Like, absolutely crazy. But once again, we might have created a whole enemy and we don't even know it. Much like we never heard back from old dude that Paperboy shot season 1. Never heard anything. Could be a whole enemy waiting in the water. All the reasons collectively as to why, I think I might want to go off the grid. I think I might want to be on a farm just away from all of this. We have had, situations happen episode, moving on up to this one, to where Al is just not comfortable with where he is. Like, I feel like we are moving in the direction for him to, pull a Tupac and just disappear on everybody. Because if a person from high school can hold a grudge long enough to want to roll up on me now and take me out, shoot me like that, did you see all the guns? Yes, open carry state. Everybody got a gun. Same thing here in Texas. This could happen anytime, anywhere. I don't want to live like this. Child, and then of course we get into Darius and Earn this episode. The kiss heard around the world. Why? We get into them from the very beginning on the prowl for these really exclusive shoes. Now, this show can be so on the nose sometimes that it's not even funny. Not only do we go down Al's feed as he's strolling, we see the old, black Justin Bieber. And I think it says, the top whatever celebrities that you didn't know were gay or bisexual. It made me think of kind of a few years ago where Justin Bieber actually got caught kissing on a dude and he had to come out and explain like, I'm not that. Or even when we get, lower than that and it says, mermaids, hashtag mermaids white, the whole situation that we are dealing with now with, the black Ariel. Like, it's just like, why are y'all so on the nose? And the same can be said for me feeling like they were trying to shed light on themselves as actors in real life and some of the things that we feel like we see going on in the media, going on in the industry, entertainment or not. A lot of the times we have to, make men, especially black men who are in a certain position, a little bit more, feminine and kind of, take away some of their masculinity to get ahead. And that's, wearing makeup, wearing dresses, a couple of pearls, a wig, some high heels. And then we get into, sexuality and what's on the spectrum, what's okay, and, what's non-binary, what's this, like you guys are taking it too far. Even when we get into Lakeith and some photos that he had up, not too long ago to where everybody was like, not Lakeith too. But then it's like, who are we to place judgment or say anything? Who are we to say, oh, we know why you got that role. Oh, brother, they had to put you in this role, put you in this predicament to, push you up a little further. We have no clue. This is just what we think as an audience. And I'm saying we, but, it might just be me. There's that side eye to go, we never saw you in a dress before now. We never saw you look like this before now. So how are you just going to make us swallow that? Oh, this is who I've always been or whatever. We never saw you like this before now. And as soon as we saw you like this, you just, your career from that role, your career just happened to flourish so much. And I felt like this episode was shining a light on that because we do have a tendency to be really judgmental. I think different types of ways of, expressing yourself, visually as far as what you're wearing. Like, it's so much now in the forefront and, different tastes, different things, different genres, just everything collectively. People are choosing to, go some other way. And even if I do, take this role, or if I do, wear this lingerie, I know who I am. I'm not that way. And I felt like this episode was going, hey, even if we do have to kiss for these $10,000 sneakers that we are about to get right now for $200 in a kiss, I'm not that way. I'm very comfortable with myself. You have Darius, Lakeith, like he is all down for this kiss. That doesn't mean we're gay. Like, I know I'm not gay. I know you're not gay. What's the big deal? It's just shoes, and I really, really want these shoes. And then you have the other side, Earn, who is just like, no, don't you think that we are above this? Don't you think that, this is a little, beneath us? They are just shoes. Also, on the other side of that, we get into the materialistic standpoint of the episode of just, putting so much power and pride into a pair of shoes, as we do with several other things of value. Like when you get into shoes, the standing in line, the fights that break out when they are all gone, paying that high cost, paying even higher if they're limited edition, jumping through all of these hoops to buy something that you're probably not even going to wear more than twice, just to say, I have something that you don't. Darius was all for it. Like, I just want to stunt one time. Like, these are some special shoes. Like, he was so eager to just get that kiss out of the way and just say it was nothing. And then we have Earn like, nah, I'm not with it. I love how Earn just tries to break it all the way down. Like, come on now, black man. Like, hey, this is not us. Like, we deserve it. Like, yeah, so 3 seconds. $200 and we can get these, American Nikes or whatever the hell they were. And it's just like, what? It's just a little kiss. What's a little bit of my dignity in 3 minutes of a kiss for these shoes? It's absolutely nothing. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice of yourself for, any type of financial gain, even though it was just a little pair of shoes? Now, when Lil Baby cut on All My Life, I pray for someone like you. And I thank God, Casey and JoJo, ooh yeah, I was so done. Like, we sacrificed. Really, really want these shoes. I want these shoes. I love the fact that Earn could have walked away at any moment. It's just like, what am I gonna do? I can't kiss myself. Like, I need you here. I want these shoes. Just like, you know what? Fine. All my life. 1, 2, 3, it's done. Pow! Whole straight bullet that is meant for Al ricochets, hits the driver out. And it's just like, oh, damn. Then we get, into that, what are we willing to sacrifice in our moral compass yet again? Well, we ain't gonna call nobody. We just gonna get the hell out of the car. We gonna take the shoes though. We cancel these shoes. We taking these goddamn shoes. I just love how thought-provoking this show is and how effortlessly it's done. Like, it's just done, man, it's just so goddamn awesome. But we end off this episode with, Darius trying to catch the beat. Like, the song with Doug is just absolutely horrible, but we do hear him say, like, Al's like, you know what, hey, I think I like a good nigga. Safe Farm is there. I think I might want to get me that farm. Like, I might, after today, the day that I've had, I might want to do that. I was so shocked that, this dude in the mall wasn't the crank that killer. And it's just like, that's some guy from high school. I would love to know what Al did to this guy in high school. But even just, that whole situation, along with him telling him like, oh, it's about time you notice my shoes. Just like, yeah, had to do a little something for him. And you have Aaron like, oh, Lord. I did not want to do that for those shoes. You're lucky I love you, Darius. But overall, this was an awesome episode, and I'm definitely looking forward to more. I cannot wait to watch the next trailer. Like, it's getting better and better, like so much better that I just do not even want the show to end. But I appreciate you guys so much for watching this video. I look forward to reading every single one of your comments and responding. Like, thank you so much for checking me out. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it helps me. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.